All right. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yeah. I am ready major to start this episode.
Oh, man. Yeah, you had that one saved up, didn't you? You thinking of that one while you were Zetus Lapeting.
Yeah. While I was Zetus Lapetus right before this episode, I had to, just make sure I had that one ready to go. And I did. And I said it, and now we're off. Now we're really in it now.
We're there.
We're
in the 21st century.
We're in the 21st century, saying something mean to it. Is that the song? I'm in the 21st century, doing something mean to it.
I don't actually know the words to Power by Kanye West, sorry.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Okay, good. Oh, Beatus my meatus, man.
Yeah, Creatus my, I don't know where I was going with that one. I started
Expecto Patronum.
Pottermore my Patronus. Guys.
We just watched Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was very good.
It was very good. It was set in 2049, I think, which means we're about 30 years away from it. And do you think that in 30 years from now we'll be doing sort of everything that the movie set out to prove that we'd be doing?
I thought you were going to ask if we were still going to be doing this.
Do you think in 30 years they'll be listening to DCOMcast in space?
Oh man, I hope.
Shoot us an email if you're listening from space. They did a lot of stuff with that movie. But before we get into it, I want to get into our favorite bit. Our favorite.
Reading the plot synopsis.
Yes.
Right.
Do you want to do that for me?
Yeah. A mischievous teen grapples with gravity, Earth culture, and a villain intent on destroying her space station home.
That's it?
That's it, and that's accurate, I'd say.
It's accurate, yeah, it's accurate. It sort of is just the middle part of the movie that it explains, but I guess the middle to late part of the movie.
She's a mischievous teen through the whole thing.
That's true. But she doesn't get on Earth right away. Because it's got to build that world. Got to do
not even just the world.
Or should I say, world building major. The world building. What words did they use? There's like stellar.
Supernova when something's really cool. Otherwise, you just say it's nova, which is
you're gonna go cool. Nova. You're gonna go Nova versus
this movie
you're gonna
really
go
focuses
supernova.
on the linguistics of people in 2049, which I wasn't expecting. And
it's wild.
Kind of grating after a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, they were trying to guess what people would be saying 50 years in the future, but they not once said fam. So
it was annoying major, fam.
It was holy it was lit major. It was lit minor, I would say. It was
Dude, it was lit mortis.
It was lit mortis. Oh yeah. They used it was weird. I could see they really put a lot of effort into making a language system that felt like it would be a step forward.
Yeah.
But in reality, all it is just like
they kind of came up with a bunch of slang words.
Yeah, which are all hilarious and very good. So, we're gonna get into bet on it.
Yeah, bet on it.
Now, if you remember, at the end of last episode, we made some predictions about what we would find in the 21st century here. Now, I think one of them was how many aliens are going to be in the movie. I said 2.
Yeah, and I said 0, which was right. There was not a single alien in this movie. This movie was really grounded.
In Earth culture.
Like, it was like near future. It wasn't too out there.
Yeah. So it makes sense that there wouldn't be aliens. I, for some reason, was under the impression that the movie was going to be this girl of 2 alien parents, and she was like a human, and she was living on a space station, and then she came down to Earth.
A bit of a Lloyd in space type of thing.
Sure. But I was incorrect. And
the other thing that we did bet on it was... does anything in this resemble what we know of the 21st century? And they had iPads that they FaceTimed each other on.
Yeah.
So I'll count that.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously the physicality of the devices was not very accurate to how it would be, but I'll give them that. That's a
The
point.
use was the same.
Yeah, exactly. They still use discs.
They did use discs, but they were smaller.
Yeah, they were smaller, which makes sense, but those sort of already existed by the time, like by 2006, in the form of like mini DVDs, but nobody used them.
Like GameCube games.
Yeah, GameCube games were tiny discs. There was even smaller discs, like discs the exact same size as in the movie. They never took off.
They kind of did in the PSP.
That's true.
This whole movie hinges on Zenon trying to get a UMD.
A UMD. Dude, UMD earrings would be like so 21st century.
That's so future. You have two little like Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions earrings.
Dude, was Shrek ever on a UMD? I know it was on a game.
For sure.
It was on a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I have Shrek 2 on Game Boy Player.
Do you really?
I really do, yeah.
That's so funny to me. They just make movies for Game Boy Advance.
I think I watched that more than the DVD, honestly.
It's the preferred viewing format for Shrek 2, truly.
It was the Laserdisc of its time.
Oh, it really was. So what happened in this movie? Let's get into it.
Yeah,
let's get into it.
So it starts out with a shot of a horrifying doll.
I think it's supposed to be Zenon herself, but it just like it goes from like the ground and it moves up and it just it frames this paper mache doll in the most terrifying, just worst
it's a
way.
very do you remember that old show on Nick that was like a claymation show about a dentist? Yeah, it looked like that guy.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah. It was a weird start to the movie.
Glenn Martin DDS.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Yes. Hold on, I gotta Google this to really get in here. Glenn Martin DDS.
Yeah, Glenn Martin Digital Devil Saga.
Yes, I remember this. Oh, I thought it was double screen. Double dual screen.
Yeah, double dual screen. It's like one of those mock-up consoles.
Yep, I remember this. This was a weird... I agree now. There's a Donald Trump in a 2010 Glenn Martin DDS trailer.
Okay. We're not even in the first scene of the movie yet. We should probably...
Yeah, we should probably get going. Talk about Glenn Martin DDS for the next 20 minutes.
Let's not talk about claymation versions of Donald Trump.
So the movie starts with Zenon waking herself up in the same style of like Good Luck Charlie intro, where she's like telling Charlie like, you're gonna do great today, it's gonna be awesome.
But much meaner.
Much meaner, yeah. It's like, you hate waking up like this, so
which is kind of a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if I woke up to myself being like, you're an idiot, you're so stupid, get up, dummy head. You always get upset at how late you wake up. Just get up now.
Yeah.
I'll wake up. I'll wake
for
up.
Sure.
Yeah. And so her mom comes down to wake her up, and she does, and then she looks out a window, and it like zooms out, and she's like on a huge space station.
Yeah, she's like on the stay, the space stay.
She's the space stay. I forgot they call it that.
Which is slang for station.
Film. Space station, space stay.
Space stay, yeah.
That's
a good
when they
one.
say when they say they did probably, so they didn't say it in the movie, but they probably did come up with the word staycation, and that's when you go on a vacation in a space station.
Oh my god, staycation, but without the Y.
Yeah, exactly. Staycation, almost.
Staycation.
And so she's
Z4
running...
the staycation.
Z4. Ah, dude, that's like an explosive name. Z4?
I used to watch Attack of the Show on Z4 all the time.
So she's running late to class, and she like bumps into a bunch of people, including, I forget his name, but he's like the main, he's like the sort of leader of the
Commander Plank.
Commander Plank, that's right, Commander Plank. She runs into him, and he's like, "Stop, you're dumb." I mean, he doesn't say that. He says, "Slow down, like walk."
Yeah, walk. You're dumb.
Exactly. And so she gets to class right on time.
And they're learning about the President Chelsea Clinton, who's the current president.
Yeah, which is so funny. It's
so
funny.
Good.
And then in the middle of the class, she finds out on her computer device that the band, what is
Microbe.
it? Microbe. That's right, Microbe. The band Microbe is going to be coming to the space station for the first ever live concert in space. And she novas.
Oh, she novas hard.
She novas.
She's supernovas.
And interrupts the whole class. And everybody's like, you want to share? And she's like, I'm just so excited about history. And so she goes back outside and she tells her friend Nebula. And she's like, once I tell you why I squealed in class, you're going to nova.
Yeah, so Nebula's played by Raven-Symoné.
Yeah.
Of That's So Raven fame.
Yeah.
And Cheetah Girls.
You're so right. You're so right. Cheetah Girls, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is what I thought.
Yeah,
that movie
that's
was.
the fourth movie.
Yeah.
The one she's not in.
Yeah. And so
not only is Microbe performing, this is the first rock concert ever in space.
Yeah. Not on a screen, not on a projector.
So it's 2049, and no one has performed in space yet, at all.
Ever. That's a good point.
Zenon's been living here for 8 years. She moved in as a child, at 5 years old.
Yeah, it's been 8 years, at least.
And you're telling me not a single rock band or anyone has performed at the space station yet?
Yeah. It
seems like such a high-profile thing to do.
Yeah, and it seems like, a different band. Like, can you imagine 21 Pilots to space?
I would hate that. To be locked on a spaceship, space stay with 21 Pilots? Is the only band there?
It's like those cruises that go off with bands, but it's like with 21 Pilots, and they're like, we're the first ones in space, guys. It's us. We're 21 Pilots.
Imagine
however,
it's like we're bringing Imagine Dragons on the one-way Mars mission to keep you all entertained.
They're gonna make all their music videos from space now.
They're like, all right, guys, you want us to play Thunder again?
They're like, no.
And the Mars rover turned itself off again.
God. And so the CEO is like, I'm gonna come visit.
Yeah.
And the what is his name? Plank.
Yeah, Commander Plank.
He's announcing that the CEO is gonna come to visit, and it needs a lot of fixes. But they gotta sort of figure it out and make it happen before Wyndham comes, because he's gonna come shut down the whole space station.
Right, but there's nothing really that they need to do.
Yeah,
it's all fine.
Yeah,
this isn't a thing.
No, not at all.
But there's a solar flare happening that Zenon really wants to go see. So she gets a bunch of her friends to help her, I guess, find a child-sized spacesuit so she can walk 3 feet out of the space station to look at the solar flare.
Right. Which apparently is like a rebellious thing to do, I guess.
I mean, it is. It's very clearly rebellious, but it doesn't... I don't really get what it was supposed to prove. It was a fun effect for the movie, but I don't know what the character was thinking. And then the dad comes in and just reels her back in with a button, and it keeps doing like shot, reverse shot to her, and then the dad like looking at her and then looking down and shaking his head. But when it cuts back, he's looking up again and he does the same motion.
It's like they took 2 takes and then they just put them back.
Yeah, they just reused it.
Yeah.
Or it was like the same take, just a little zoomed in, so you couldn't tell.
Right. And so her dad brings her back to their apartment? Their
room.
Cabin? Their room.
Their rooms.
Their rooms. Their plural rooms. Their studio space. No, it'd be something stupid. What would the name of like the cabin space in a space station
suite.
like that? The suite. But it would be like SWEET, not SUITE. It'd be the suite. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Anyways.
There you go.
And her dad's like, is everything's your fault. Everything seems to be your fault. Every time you do something in your gang, it's always your fault. You're always the one who's doing stuff.
So she gets grounded, and her mom puts on her stress helmet, and they tell her to go to the chill chamber, which I don't know if that's like a... The stress helmet's real, but the chill chamber might just be like a 90s fuck you mom type of thing.
Right. But what's super funny is that, like, absolutely nowadays there'd be a chill chamber, you know? In the direction we're going in the future, there totally would be a chill chamber.
What would be the chill chamber?
It would be like you'd go in there and it would just be like The Office. I mean, that's like the relatable sort of thing for like the generation.
The Office is not chill. That's where people work.
Yeah, no, but you like Netflix and chill to it. No, it'd be like The Office, like the television show The Office.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it would just be an office.
You'd go in there and it would just be like a big office space, and you get to just chill and do whatever. You get to break a printer just like an office space, and you chill out. You know, you get all your anger
in the chamber.
And so Zenon goes to meet the CEO, Mr. Wyndham.
Yeah, Mr. Wyndham.
Who looks like Mark Hamill at this point, I realized. Yeah. He looks like Mark Hamill.
He looks a lot like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, and Zenon determines that he's got a plan going. He's like, he's too creepy.
Yeah.
So later, she's like digging in a garbage chute.
Right. Her and her friend Nebula constantly sift through garbage to decorate their clothes with.
Oh, that's right. It's for their clothes.
Yeah, it's to wear. It's to wear the garbage, so it's normal.
Right. In the future, you don't understand. It's like bedazzling.
It's upcycling.
Yeah, upcycling. Yeah. It's basically just a free thrift store, you know?
Exactly. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Garbage? Nah. Free thrift store. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's the lesson of this movie.
Yeah, this movie was promoting thrift stores long before Macklemore.
Dude, Microbe is just Macklemore. Future Macklemore. He's like, come on, guys, let's go star hopping instead of thrift shopping.
Oh, there you go, little.
Hey, Microbe Man, you want to go star hopping? What? What
are you saying? What are you saying?
What? Oh, God. So Zenon's digging in the garbage chute, and she's climbing out, and she sees, what's his name? Zarko? Z-Bomb?
Lutz.
Lutz, that's right. Lutz. With the Z.
Yeah.
She sees Lutz doing something sketchy.
Lutz is Mr. Wyndham's, like, assistant kind of guy.
Yeah. And he's trying to get into the memory bank.
Right, which is, I'm still not exactly sure what a memory bank is. I guess it's just like storage, like data storage.
For what?
When we first heard about it, I thought it was like in Harry Potter when they go to the like big basin and pull their memories out. I thought it was like a future thing like that, but it's not. It's just hard drives.
Yeah, just a bunch of hard drives. And she basically is like, "You can't go in there.
Yeah,
take me back to my place."
Yeah, and she's like grabbing his arm and like, "Come on, go to bed. Come on."
Which is really kind of funny.
It's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
A lot of this movie gets that way.
It really does. And so they're watching so it's later, and all of the teens, the 13-year-olds of the ship are watching the
because there's a contest to go meet Microbe and dance with him on his show in space.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not named Microbe. He's named something else, but you meet the band.
Right, but the thing about the band is it's like Queen.
Yes, yeah.
When you think of Queen, you don't think of any of the other members except for, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, no. What is his name?
Freddie Mercury.
There you go.
Which is ironic, not ironic.
I almost said Freddie Prinze Jr. The time period of this movie has corrupted me.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury, because it's space and stuff like that.
Ah! They should have done something like that.
Yeah, they should have been like, "Oh, I'm Johnny Mars."
They should have had that guy from Disney World. What's his name? Sonny Eclipse. Did you see?
Eclipse?
You were at Disney recently.
I was
Did
at
you
Disney,
see
but I
Sunny
didn't
Eclipse?
meet. No, I didn't get to meet Sunny Eclipse. I saw Space Mountain.
Do you know who Sunny Eclipse is?
No.
Sunny Eclipse is one of my favorite Disney characters. He's like a weird alien who sings in a bar.
Interesting.
He doesn't.
Wait,
he has
I
like
know
a
this
bunch
character.
of songs.
Yeah, he performs in a restaurant, right?
Right, he's at Ray's Starlight Cafe.
Yes, I do know him. You've just sent a good picture of him too. Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Yep, I know him. I was terrified of him
He's fantastic.
as a child. He's fantastic. I want to also paint a picture while we're painting pictures. I want to paint a picture of the interiors of the space station. They all look like queue lines for like space themed rides, like Space Mountain and Space Tours. They all look like that that's exactly what it looks like.
They're very dark too. It looks like the episodes of Star Trek when people are like attacking the ship.
Yes, yeah.
And it's kind of smoky, which is weird.
Yeah, the whole thing, which is weird.
I think it's cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah, probably. You don't have to make too much detail when it's all foggy.
Yeah, you don't need all that gloss.
Right. Except for the part where they're like watching the winning entry announcement. That's like this hangout spot that's like all bright and it looks like a Disney Cruise Lines.
It's like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
With a stage in it.
It totally is. And so he's announcing who gets to dance with him. The microbe is.
Yes, he's announcing it in front of a bunch of flags.
So Zenon wins.
To be fair, his name is Protozoa.
It is.
The other members of Microbe are not named, and they do not talk.
Not at all.
He is basically Microbe.
If you were to give me a lineup of members from the band along with random people, I would not be able to tell you which one is which.
Yeah.
So Zenon wins, and
she wins because of her entry.
Right.
Which was a creepy doll, like the one we saw in the intro, but of Protozoa, holding a photograph of her, like a real photograph.
Yeah. And so he's like, I love this, man. I love this. This is my favorite. I love it so much. He's not Tommy Wiseau from The Room. I want to be clear.
No, he's like British.
He's British. He's like, he's very British.
Can you do a British accent for me, Evan?
I can. Actually, my default British accent has changed over time. There's a video of me doing a pretty alright British accent as a 2-year-old. Not a 2-year-old. Not a 2-year-old.
Oh, okay.
I'm very young though, and it's a different British accent than what I'm about to do. But here we go. Poi crikey, mate.
That's Australian.
that spider is is massive major.
Yeah, okay.
Put another shrimp on the supernova.
Pretty good.
Right, eh?
Pretty good.
Let me try another one. I'm gonna read the next line in my notes with this. She gets a code from a guy, and so she waits for him in the memory bank room to see what he's doing.
Okay, that was all right.
Yeah, it's not like the Mick Jagger sort of character that Protozoa. That sort of impression, but it is a accent.
It is an accent.
And now it's memorialized forever in this podcast that we don't redo episodes of. So
unless you edit it out.
No, I can't. I won't do that.
Okay.
No,
sure.
No, I've made my bed and now I'm gonna sleep in it.
All right. You know what? I commend you for that. That's great.
I own up to
stick
my
to your
mistakes,
guns,
guys.
man.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, because I did edit it out, I just did a bad accent. So that's what just happened.
No, it was great. He just edited it out for time. So Zenon now wants to go back to the memory bank to see what Lutz was looking for. So she gets her friend whose dad has the code book, which is just a bunch of codes that get you into every door. This is a very useful character who does not have a name.
No. Why would they give him a name? He's just a book
doesn't need a name.
at this point.
He's basically just a plot device to get into doors.
Right.
So she gets in there and hides underneath like a grate.
Like a Star Wars style grate that just appears there, like
a space grate.
Area. Yeah, space grate.
And Lutz comes in and he starts whacking away at the keyboard. And when he does the password entry, it all shows up in wingdings on the computer.
It's the best moment in the movie. Yeah. So he gets all the memory. I guess he gets all the memory onto a disc. Like he has a small disc that he like pulls out.
Yeah, it's a little disc. Itty bitty. It's like a chicken nugget sized disc.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly a chicken nugget sized disc. It doesn't have a hole in the middle. It's just sort of like a disc. It's not like a CD. It's a disc.
It's like a discus.
It's a discus, yeah.
And it's like rainbowy reflective type of material. Right. So Zenon is now trying to get into the memory bank, I guess, or out of it. She's trying to get out. Yeah. But she had the code written on her hand, so it's all smudged now, and she can't read it and can't remember the code. So she just starts putting in whatever into the machine. And of course the alarm triggers and she gets arrested, basically.
Right. And so she's trying to explain to Plank what happened. And he's not buying it. He's like, no, you were trying to break in and you're just trying to blame it on him. I'm not going to believe
So then her parents are like, you're grounded. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then they just really drive it home. You're grounded, which means we're sending you to go live with your Aunt Judy.
On the ground.
Space. She hates space. It's going to be terrible. Everything I know is space, and my whole vocabulary is based around space. This is so bad major.
I'm not allowed to say stellar on Earth, and yet I still will.
This is not Lunarius.
And so, Raven gives her the disc that the guy put the data on, and then she learns she has to go down with the big CEO man. So I guess Raven...
She finds the disc while doing dumpster diving the same way that she did, and she turns it into an earring.
And so she gives her the earring, and she's like, oh, thank you, this is wonderful. And remember, this is like a large...
Yeah. It's a big, heavy disc.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very good. I can only imagine how heavy it is. And she just, slaps it on her ear.
Yeah, and then for some reason she says, et tu neb?
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? She goes...
Like she's betraying her? But Neb had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly. But then Nebula says, oh, quoting Billy Shakespeare, are you?
Yeah, Billy Shakespeare.
Oh,
That's what we call him in the future.
Right, Billy Shakespeare. No, it's his son, please, who's now the president of the United States.
No, it's Chelsea Clinton. It's her husband.
Right.
A clone of William Shakespeare.
Chelsea Clinton was like, I want a husband. And they're like, okay, yeah. And she's like, no. I want
the husband.
The husband. William Shakespeare. And they're like, okay. Yeah.
We'll clone him right away, ma'am.
Right away, ma'am.
Yes, Madam President.
Do you think McDonald's still exists in the future?
Oh, yeah.
In 2049? There's no way it doesn't.
There's no way. It's not that far away. It's 30 years.
I guess that's true. I was about to make the claim that, like, Eddie Bauer becomes the largest company on planet Earth, but that 30 years from now, I don't think Eddie Bauer's going to be doing that.
I mean, if you look at the sort of fashion they're wearing in the future here,
right?
It's more Under Armour than Eddie Bauer.
I guess that's true.
But people on Earth are stuck in the 90s.
It's very Under Armour. It's a lot of tight skin cloths.
It's tight-fitting shirts, loose-fitting pants. The dream of the like early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah. So Zenon realizes that she has to go back down with the with Wyndham. And she's like, I don't want to go back down with him. What the heck? And the mom's like, he's actually being very nice to let you go down with him. And so she gets on the ship. He winks at her.
He gives her a little wink, and it's really awkward.
Yeah, weird big wink. And then they're off.
Yeah, it's just him, and Mr. Lutz on that plane. And she's wearing the data earring.
Yes, very clearly, I might add.
Yeah, so they land on Earth, and the moment she gets out of the plane, she trips down the stairs of the spaceship, Just straight away. It's so funny.
She sneezes and goes flying down the stairs.
And no one cares at all.
Nobody cares. And so she starts walking along this bridge, and then the camera does this weird thing where it twists really weird, and it's like, why do you do this? And so she keeps walking, and Mr. Wyndham's like, oh, your aunt's gonna meet you here, and she's like, don't think you're fooling everyone, because you're not fooling me. And then she like pushes back her ear, her hair. She doesn't push back her ear.
And Mr. Lutz sees her data earring and gets like, oh no, I dropped it or something. She has it.
And then Mr. Wyndham's like, everything okay? And Lutz is like, no, everything's fine. Everything's great.
Yeah, and then her aunt shows up and picks her up in her VW Bug, which is the only car in the future.
Oh, of course, yeah. Every other car company that I can't be bothered to remember to name, they just went off the face of the earth. Tesla. There was a Tesla car, though. There was a Tesla car. There was at the end of the movie.
No, that was another VW Bug that just had autopilot. It was just a red VW Bug.
Well, now okay. Well, if you get into specifics, I mean, now it's Tesla VW.
Well, if you're gonna tell the truth, then sure, but
no. Tesla and Volkswagen combined together.
All the car companies did a big merger, and they just make VW Bugs.
Right, because it's the most aerodynamic and beautiful car.
It's the coolest car.
And so her aunt picks her up, and she's like, I love terra firma. That's what I say. The firma, the better. And they go to a restaurant.
Yeah, they go to Fuddruckers. And they sit across from a bunch of, like, I guess middle schoolers.
Yeah, terra-teens.
Leery-eyed terra-teens.
Yeah.
And these terra-teens are not having it that she dresses different from them. And they decide to bully her.
And her hair, too.
So Maggie comes up and makes fun of her. Mm-hmm. And what else happens?
Zenon comes back with a great clapback, and she
does a good clapback.
Yeah. And then she storms off, and Zenon storms off and is like, "Come on, Aunt, let's scrub this mission. I don't have an appetite anymore." So,
and there's like a guy with the like Leonardo DiCaprio 90s haircut.
Yes.
Like the Brink haircut.
Like the Aproposjared haircut.
Oh, okay, we're saying it. We're saying it.
We're saying it. It's gonna immediately date this episode. Immediately, but
Aproposjared will be famous for years to come.
If you're listening in space and you don't know who Aproposjared is,
I'm honestly surprised.
Yeah, because I thought he was gonna be famous forever. He's this gamer
guy
who did some bad stuff with like his he like did some bad stuff with his wife. He cheated on his wife. Bad stuff. Weird guy, but he looks exactly like this character that I don't remember the name of. It's Gregory.
Gregory, which is also the name of the actor. Surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. So there's Gregory, and she gives Gregory a wonderful look. This is before she gets bullied, but she gives Gregory this wonderful look, and that's it. That's a big point. That's all.
That's all that happens at Fuddruckers.
And so they're back at the aunt's house, and the aunt is like,
she says something.
And
then Zenon goes to school, baby.
Yep.
She's going to Earth School.
Earth School, baby.
Teacher mistakes her name for Radon. She calls her Radon Carr. Which is it's kind of a cooler name, honestly.
Yeah, Radon. I mean, Radon Carr, but she's like, no, please. Radon was my father's name. No, she's like, it's actually Zenon. But it's so weird because the teachers here are not holograms. Isn't that strange?
That is not strange. Because
you
must
have grown up on the Earth.
I need to ask you a question. Okay. Was the hologram of her teacher, was that Mr. Lutz?
I think it was. Later,
because it really looked like him.
It does, because later Lutz appears and like confronts Zenon in person. And the weirdest part about that is I originally thought it was her teacher from earlier. I was like, oh, look,
right, because he's wearing kind of similar clothes.
Yes. So that's a theory. It
might have been a low-resolution hologram.
Yes, that's true.
But I thought they were the same character. So throughout this movie, Zenon sort of has a catchphrase that's not really... I want to say it's not really rooted in anything, where he just says Cetus-Lupeedus.
Yeah, like Jizo Pete or like
Like
Honest
Jizo
to Pete.
Pete. Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, howdy.
Yeah. Boy, howdy.
But it is Cetus-Lupeedus.
Cetus-Lupeedus. Now, I kept a counter through the whole movie of how many times characters say Cetus-Lupeedus.
Okay.
Our friend Will guessed 13.
Mm-hmm.
He watched it with us. What is your guess for the number?
I am gonna say 10.
10?
No, because it sort of accelerated the frequency in which it was appearing.
Right. The more exciting the movie got, the more Lapetuses got Cetused.
Right. I'm going to say 17. 17.
I'm going to give you an out here, and I'm going to say, okay, 13? Is it 13 major or 13 minor?
13 major.
13 major?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It was exactly 13. He got it right.
Oh my god.
So congratulations, Will. Put in on like a stock audience clapping here.
Yeah, they're clapping. Oh, whoa. They're getting like really rowdy. Guys.
Somebody's doing that loud
podcasting.
whistle.
Whoa, hey. Dude, somebody's playing Gangnam Style. Stop. We're gonna get taken down.
No. Okay, talk over.
Okay, TM, not,
oh, good, it was just a MIDI. Okay.
Oh, we're fine. Yeah, it turned into a MIDI halfway through.
Have fun with that. It's revenge for having to sync up everything last time.
Yeah, for real. I get to create that wonderful audio space there.
So Zenon is going to Earth school, and everything's different here. They use Fahrenheit instead of Celsius.
Mm-hmm. She messes it up.
Swimming is hard.
Yeah, because it's not space. Money exists?
Money
Cash?
exists. Apples, bananas, oranges. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. What are those, dude? Do these...
Stuff isn't major and minor. It's macro and micro.
Yeah,
That's what the kids say. I don't know why that is.
Me neither.
I'm going to say that it's sort of like an extension of people making fun of the vor thing. And they've sort of gotten into the realm of giantesses, like that sort of whole DeviantArt section.
Wait, hold on. Explain? What is this?
Like really, like big people, like really big, like building sized.
Right.
And then like really tiny, like micro people.
So like macro and micro.
Yeah.
You're saying so you're saying that a lot of people are into it, so much so that it's
I'm saying it's like okay. I think most teenagers nowadays know what vor is and will talk about it with their friends.
Got it. Okay. Yes, got it. I agree. And
like you say, you totally vored that.
Right.
Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think the future it's extended to macro, micro.
Right. Yes, I totally agree. And if you are in the future and we got it right on the head, congratulations. I mean, I'm going to give you a round of applause right now.
Okay. You can't keep congratulating everyone. This is our show, all right? We're the stars. Okay, so now she's in the lunchroom getting some fruit, a single orange, which cost her $1.75. It's good to see inflation's gone down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand what money is because they don't use that in the space station. So Aproposjared buys her the orange.
Which, of course, is Gregory.
Which is Gregory. Yeah, he's Aproposjared, though. We're just going to call him that.
Yeah, for the sake of the rest of the episode, just clarity.
That's what he's written down as in my notes. I didn't know his name until halfway through.
Me too. Yeah, me too. It says, I wrote Aproposjared saves her again.
Sometimes I just wrote Jared.
Man.
He tells her that he works at a horse farm.
Oh, yeah.
And she's kind of interested in that, so she goes and sees him.
We skipped the part where the aunt's house gets broken into.
Oh, well, yeah, that's like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like it got broken into.
Yeah.
And then they go to the horse farm. Nothing got stolen because they were looking for the disc.
Yeah, and Zenon...
which she had on her, which we knew.
But they don't figure this out until way later.
Right, but it's a pretty pointless scene in the movie, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
The aunt isn't even really like horribly shooken up about it, even though she's kind of portrayed as a scaredy cat.
Yeah, I think it helps to communicate that like let's means business, but other than that, it didn't need to.
Other than that, he doesn't.
Yeah, he'll break into a house, but he's not going to do anything else.
Yeah, no, that's his limit.
Right.
So they're at the horse farm, and he's showing her the horse, and he says, "Pretty alpha, huh?"
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Pretty
she,
alpha rad, huh?
Pretty alpha of me, huh? Pretty Scott the Woz of me, huh? Pretty 2013 JonTron of me to do this, huh?
God. Look at this brutal moose, dude. Look at this brutal moose. It's a horse. Isn't that cool?
Watch me complete the horse brushing.
4 people are laughing right now.
I know. And I don't think we should continue.
I agree. But so Zenon's like super scared of the horse. But Aproposjared lets the horse out of the stable and starts to brush the horse. And then he's like, "Do you want to brush the horse?" And she's like, I don't really want to, but sure. And so she starts brushing the horse, and he's like, No, get in there, brush the horse. And he's like,
and he just like
hand in her hand,
grabs her whole body and just forces her to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
It's not a good sort of visual to show children. A boy
really
doing this
her.
to
really
a girl against her wants, and not a good.
Hey, pretty alpha, huh?
Pretty alpha, huh? Pretty alpha. Pretty pro-Jared, honestly. So they go out on a horse ride after they're brushing the horse. They get up on the horse, and they bond. They sort of bond over this horse ride.
Yeah, they're kind of falling in love.
Yeah. So they go out to a restaurant.
They go back to the same Fuddruckers.
Mm-hmm. And they're ordering a bunch of food because Zenon has not eaten like pizza or onion rings or anything that's not grown hydroponically, basically. And so she starts eating a bunch of food, and she's like, "Oh, this is so good." And he's like, "I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to make up for this, Zenon."
Yeah, he's like, "This is very expensive."
It's very expensive. And she's like, "I don't know what money is. Stop." But so she's seen by Lutz, and they enact Escape Plan Major and go down to the sea, and they just sort of sit there.
Yeah, their macro escape plan is to sit underneath like a bridge or like a dock, because it's sort of a Fuddruckers on the shore,
on the rocks. Fuddrucker on the rocks.
Fuddrucker on the rocks. So Aproposjared Fuddruckers on the rocks.
She's like, oh, there's a weird moment where she's like standing on the rocks, and she's like, "My legs are so white," and
he's like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Yeah, there's like, "You're fine."
It's such a weird flat way.
Yeah,
like if that's what I would say if somebody told me that.
Yeah.
Like that's how poorly written that was. Like that level of bad dialogue.
As we all know, you're so bad at you're talking. We all know
awful.
That. And it's not me who's bad at saying things. It's you. We all know.
No, you don't talk to me in real life.
That's true. That's true. We have this
today,
barrier.
A girl at work showed me a TikTok she made, and I didn't know how to respond. What do you say to that?
You just unpacked a real load onto this episode.
So here's the TikTok? Thing. It was a very cute dog.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It was fine. It was no big deal.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what do I say to that? I don't even remember. I think I said, "Haha, yeah." Like something to that level.
That's the most incredible thing, Duncan. It was great. You've hacked the barrier between real life and the internet. Because I say "haha, yeah" to so much on the internet. I just go "haha, yeah."
That's super interesting.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I super appreciate it. I say that through the internet, but never in real life. You've hacked the barrier.
Dude, I appreciate that major.
Dude.
That's interesting, major.
I appreciate that, major.
Can you start saying that?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now, and this will be like the explanation for why I suddenly started doing it. This is my confession tapes. The reason I sound like I'm from 2049 is because I am.
He's from the future. He's a Phil of the future.
Yeah, Philharmonic Orchestra of the future. Anyways, bad. So he hacks into the Wincom. So Aproposjared hacks into the Wincom database.
Right. On the beach.
Right, on the beach.
He just does it on his iPad.
And it shows that their financials are going down. They're not doing good as a company.
They're losing money on their space station. On the only space station.
Right, which doesn't really go into what else they own.
It's losing money.
Yeah.
No. They own that big building.
Yeah, they own the big building and they own the space station. And it's not really explained what exactly they do. And then he's like, "It must be the earring."
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, so what exactly happened? And then she reenacts it and pushes her hair out of the way, and he goes, oh, it's the earring.
It's the earring.
Just like that. He just flat out, oh, it's the earring, clearly.
And so they go back home, it starts raining, and Projared's like, well, I'll see you next time, you know.
Yeah, he like caresses her face. Like he touches the earring and then he like creeps down to her cheek. Very Pro-Jared move.
Yeah. So the next day, they're trying to hack into the disc. And they're having...
so they take it to their friend.
The earring.
Who... I don't remember his name. I didn't write it down.
He had a name, and they said it once.
Andy?
I don't think it was... Yeah, we'll go with
Andrew.
Andrew. It was
Andrew.
Andrew. Mm-hmm. It was Andrew.
So Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Andy's hacking the disc.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Margie is there.
Yeah.
Who was the girl who was mean to Zenon before.
Right.
Because she has a thing for Pro-Jared.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny. A funny way to put it. So Zenon walks outside while they're trying to get into the disc. Margie follows her out and is like, you're not going to make it in time. Like, shooting her down is like, you better not touch Gregory, Pro-Jared, or else I'm going to tell the band that you won't make it, and then they'll find somebody else.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
She says her dad has connections to the band.
Right.
She like, threatens her.
Her dad works at Nintendo. She's going to get banned. And so...
She knows all the Pokemon before they come out.
She's like...
There's going to be another evolution for Pikachu, and he's Steel type.
There's gonna be a sequel. There's gonna be a sequel to Turtwig, and it's gonna be Turtwig 2.
Mew 3 is real, and he doesn't have any type, so he's no weaknesses.
Every Pokemon in the next generation is just gonna be different Mews. It's gonna be Dittos. All the Pokemon
It's
are gonna
all
be Dittos.
Mews.
It's all Mew. Mew 2, Mew 3, Mew 4, Mew 151. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be great.
God.
They all have different shapes.
Can't wait.
Andrew, he falls asleep and he wakes up just in time to watch a cute little animation of a bug.
Of a slug.
A
little slug chewing through his
Yeah.
desktop before his desk lights on fire.
Yeah, because it's a virus now.
It's a virus. That's what viruses do, right?
And so the next day at school, he tells Zenon about it. And he's like,
The next day at school, he tells them that he fixed it.
He tells them that he fixed it. He's like, I made it into an undo file. That's all
He
I
made
had to
an
do.
undo file.
He made an undo file. That's all you had to do. Control Z.
You know an
that
undo
baby.
file.
Yeah.
Evan, do you have an undo file for this audio in case I say something I shouldn't have?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Oh, thank God. And then, so after that, she makes a call to no, not Zenon. She is Zenon.
Yeah.
What's the other character's name?
Nebula.
Nebula. She makes a call to Nebula, and the whole space station is falling apart.
Right.
And her parents are telling her that it's fine, it's not that bad, but it's not. It's real bad.
It's really, really bad. So Lutz approaches her later, and he's like,
at her house, at her aunt's house,
at her home, and she's like, well, I'll give it to you if you give me a ride up to the ship. And so they make a contract.
He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He writes it down on a piece of paper as per Pro-Jared's request.
Right.
Pro-Jared is all about written consent.
Oh God. And so they make a contract. He signs it. And so she gives him the earring, but Pro-Jared's like, no, wait until you're on the ship. And she's like, come on, trust him a little bit. And so she gives it to him, and then he just crumples up the contract like nothing happened.
Yeah.
But
it was a fake disc.
It was a fake. The whole time. The whole thing, those
kind of a pointless scene.
Absolutely.
She should have not done that.
No.
Because all it did was
increase suspicion.
Make Lutz and Mr. Windcoop, I guess, be okay with going up to their job.
Right.
And if she hadn't have done that, they probably wouldn't have been there. They probably would have been doing something else.
Yeah.
Like looking for the disc. Yeah. So now her plan is to get a ride with Protozoa up to the space station for the concert to save the space station with the real disc.
Right.
And she's sort of talking to Pro-Jared, and they're out on the porch, and they're, making goo-goo eyes at each other.
Mm-hmm. As you do with Pro-Jared.
Yeah, apparently.
Allegedly. And
they're
almost
about
kiss.
to kiss.
They almost kiss. Woo!
They almost kiss twice. They go for a kiss once, and they bump noses, and they're like, oh, oops, sorry.
Oops, do you want to try
Let's
again?
try again. And then Nebula calls them and says, you got to go right now and get on the ship.
And so they do it.
So they get in an automated car
Yeah.
that Andrew's dad owns, and it's a red Volkswagen Bug as opposed to the aunt's yellow one.
Yeah, and of course the future where all of them are bugs. And so they drive to I guess the conference is happening, where he's like gonna tell them that I'm going up now.
It's the Wind Coop building where she landed.
Yes, yeah.
The space shuttle.
And right before she goes in, the guy's like, "Are you what are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm the person. I'm Zenon. I'm supposed to go up." And he's like, "Oh, you're Zenon? You have to come with me, man.
You're wanted. You're wanted terrorist in this county."
So they just blast through the
Zenon hits the gas pedal
Yeah.
and breaks through a glass wall.
Yeah.
It's fucking raw.
It's so rad. It's so rad.
Amazing.
It's alpha. It's so alpha.
It's so alpha. It's macro alpha.
It's macro
alpha major.
It's macro alpha major lunarius. It's so lunarius. And so they get to the conference room, and she sees a protozoa.
She sees
there.
Proton John.
Yeah, Proton John. And she runs down there, and she's like, "I'm Zenon." And he's like, "Yeah, you are. You're Zenon."
He's like weary of her for some reason.
Which is
And then
weird.
she picks up the doll that she made of him that's holding a photograph of her, and he's like, "Oh, okay, you're really Zenon."
And so the the security guards are like, "It's over, Zenon. You're here now." And he's like, "No, she's
Come
with
on, guys.
me."
Rock and roll.
That's
And
right.
they're like, yeah, rock and roll.
They just drop their jobs and join him in rock and roll.
They just let this little girl go with this, adult rock star on his private ship.
Right. So he doesn't do a concert, but he says some words, and they start taking off in the ship.
Right, and her aunt followed her there,
and
and she sort of confronts. Yeah, she's trying to find her, and she confronts Mr. Windcoop and Lutz.
Mm-hmm.
And those three break onto the ship right before it leaves. So they're all flying up to the space station together.
Yeah. And so they arrive there, and as soon as they get in, it goes glitcho mode.
Mr. Lutz and Mr. Windcoop reveal that the space station is going to blow up. It's in a self-destruct sequence.
Yeah. And so they're like, "We're all gonna die. Don't come. We're all gonna die."
Yeah.
And so they arrive, and immediately as they arrive, the space station goes glitcho mode. Yeah, and then the aunt and Zenon.
Oh yeah.
Go find Mr. Plank, and then they
Aunt
just
Judy
fall in
falls
love.
onto, literally falls on Commander Plank, and then they just sort of look at each other, and it's implied that they just immediately fell in love.
Yeah, which you don't get to do that. There's no lead up. You don't get to do that. So weird. Because that's the second time in this movie that two characters have fallen in love by just looking at each other.
I mean, that's how it works, man.
Yeah, I guess that's
what
right.
true love is.
That's true love. You can see it right away. You don't gotta know people for a long time before you know that they're the one, but they're the one. You see them.
No, you just see them and you go, okay.
Cool. And so Wyndham gets on board. Wincom,
a very pro-Jared message.
Yes. Yeah, very pro-Jared message. Pro-Jared message.
Pro-Jared. Aproposjared of nothing.
Apropos.
They fall in love Aproposjared. So at this point, Zenon tells everybody that Mr. Windcoop is going to... Not Windcoop. What is his name? Windom. Have I been calling him Windcoop?
No, his company is Windcorp?
Windcorp. Isn't Windcoop a real guy, though? Isn't that what he's based on?
I don't know.
He owns the Wynn Hotel in Vegas, I think.
Really? Interesting.
So.
I wonder if he had a plan to capitalize on his insurance money by destroying a space station. I could see it.
Yeah, maybe.
And so, yeah, Zenon's yelling at everybody and being like, "He's gonna blow up the ship. He's doing it on purpose." But
I have an undo disc we need to use.
Yeah, but Zenon and her aunt get pulled away, and
guards come and arrest them. So Nebula and Code Guy
yeah, that's right.
uses Code Book to save her.
Yeah, it's like the Polar Express where the main character is just called Hero Boy in the credits. This character is just Code Boy.
Code Boy. So they save them, and she goes to where her parents and Mr. Plank are in the control room, and they're all telling her, "No, don't do it." And she puts the disc in, and it immediately fixes everything.
Right.
As soon as the disc is put in, everything is fixed and back to normal.
Well, actually, she puts the disc in and she fails to put in the password like 30 times. And then
you're right.
The entire space station shuts down. And there's like this like dramatic shot from far away of like just all the lights on the space station going out, and you can see the Earth in the background.
And then it just all turns back on. She just rebooted it.
You did it.
She did it. And then Micro performs.
That's right. Yeah. Micro performs, and there's like this really long, what is it? Say it with me. Song. Yeah.
I knew what you were going to say.
There's a song in this one too. Another song.
Okay, so this song has a lot of similarities to a song I've been hearing on the radio recently.
Really?
Yeah, there's like rhyming zoom and heart going boom. Have you heard that song?
I don't think I have at all.
I gotta find it. I don't know the name of the song or who sings it.
I'll play a little bit of it in the background while we're talking here. You're saying it sounds like this?
It's Boom by X-Ambassadors. Yeah, do a mashup.
I'll do a mashup of Boom and Supernova Girl.
So Micro plays Supernova Girl at her request for Aproposjared, who is sitting there sad.
Yeah, he's
like on FaceTime with her.
He's not even smiling. He's just so upset about it.
It almost looks like it's just like a picture of him.
Yeah, it almost does. Like they were like they took like a freeze frame from a shot. And they were like, this is all we have. I don't know what to tell you. This is all we have of Greg.
So he performs a song in the cafeteria. Everybody loves it. And Zenon selflessly gives up her dance with Protozoa to her best friend Nebula.
Right.
Who goes on stage and holds a tambourine. Doesn't play it, just holds it.
It's a prop more than anything. It's like a fashion thing. You wouldn't understand because you're not in the year 2049, but it's like a fashion thing. I'm not really in it either, but I just know that it happens. It's just
no, you have future sight though.
Right, yeah. I'm really good at predicting the future.
And then something that neither of us would have predicted. It freeze frames, zooms in on Zenon's smile, and fades to white.
Yeah, like in the movie, there's like this French movie called The 400 Blows, where it's like this boy who's running for like a really long time, like a 5-minute section where he's just running, and at the end he gets to like the beach, and it just like it freeze frames on his face, like in the middle of him doing nothing, and it just zooms in on him. It's literally just like that. Why?
It's like the credits of Full House when it's just still frames from the show.
Yeah, but it freeze frames and zooms in on her, and that's the end of the movie.
That's it. Credits roll. Zenon saved everyone. Zetus Lapetus.
And Zetus Lapetus, Zenon did it. But there's a sequel, isn't there?
There is.
So something else happens.
Something else happens in the Xenoverse.
The
Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It's very xenophobic of you. God.
Oh, man. All right. So, is there anything you would change about this movie? Any rewrites to do?
I don't know. There's a lot of scenes that could be cut and replaced.
Yeah, there's a few, like the break-in scene, some of the early stuff on the ship.
The part where she tricks him into having the wrong disc. Yeah, a couple of the early parts on the ship. I wish they actually did more, I don't know.
More on the ship.
Yeah. Because I was really interested in that world, and it
was really cool.
Yeah. It was really
well-made sets.
It was, yeah, I totally agree. It was, the sets, they were cool alpha. Or cool major. Dang it. One shot.
They were alpha, they were cool major.
They were alpha, they were stellar.
They were stellar. All right. What are you going to rate this film?
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess fuck me then. This movie's a 10 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck you.
This movie's a 10 out of 10.
So why? All right. You really like this movie?
I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. Everything about this movie is perfect.
Imagine what they did if they made this movie now, like in.
Oh, it'd be awful. Oh, I could not stand it.
It's just such like a cool, like honest look into what people in the past thought the future was going to look like.
Yes, it's what I still want the future to look like.
We can make it, guys. We got like 30 years. So
we do.
We can do
Come on, guys. Let's elect Chelsea Clinton at the right time. Not now, when we're all ready for it. But I think we can start calling him Billy Shakespeare.
I agree. I think
that's an easy one.
That's a good first step. Yeah. I think
first step to the future.
I think that we can remove Elon Musk from Tesla and replace him with somebody else. At the beginning, I thought that we could replace him with Mark Hamill because WinCorp looked like Mark Hamill. But
he looks like voiceover Pete too.
He does look like voiceover Pete as well.
We could probably go on Fiverr and ask him to say Cetus-Lupeedus. I'm the CEO of Tesla now.
Oh my god! Can you imagine making an entire movie with voiceover Pete, but paying him on Fiverr to say the lines?
Dude, have you seen those videos where it's like, I made a song entirely using people from Fiverr?
Yes.
I made a movie entirely using people from Fiverr.
Oh my god. Yeah, because you could just have like a budget of $100 and it'd be like VFX, $5.
You could have like $1 million budget, like a real movie budget.
God.
You could make a crazy good movie.
You could make the best movie. Like, nowadays $1 million budget for a movie isn't like super. It's not blockbuster, but it's a really
that's like a small budget.
Yeah, but on
for
Fiverr,
a movie it's small. Yeah, dude, that's like 200,000 people.
Dude,
even though nothing on Fiverr costs $5.
Oh
anymore.
No, of course not. Why would things on Fiverr cost $5? That makes no sense. That's so stupid.
Imagine how many Minecraft intros you could get for $1 million.
Can you get voiceover Pete to do your Minecraft intro?
You probably could.
Hey guys, welcome to the Lion Factory.
He plays Minecraft.
Does he really? Voiceover Pete?
Yeah.
He's like a Minecraft Let's Play? No.
He does Minecraft live streams.
Whoa, really?
Have you heard of SMP Live?
I think I have.
Yeah, it's like a streaming server for Minecraft. And VoiceOver Pete goes on there.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is the heaviest thing I think you've dropped on me on this show.
Do you think there are people on Fiverr who you can pay to do a full podcast episode with? Other than me.
Yeah, this is an announcement for Duncan's Fiverr.
Not an announcement. That's how the show started.
I paid you $5.
A one lump sum of $5 for this whole thing.
For the whole podcast.
Yeah, for every episode. And editing.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if you could pay somebody to be a guest on your podcast.
Probably.
Our first guest on this podcast is just a person from Fiverr.
All right. Do you want to do some bet on it?
Yeah, let's do some bet on it.
Bet on it. All right. So the next movie we're gonna watch is called Can of Worms.
Hoo-wee! Can of Worms. I'm gonna just take a look at the poster here. Oh, I've just searched Can of Worms and the poster does not pop up. It's a bunch of, okay. I'm gonna have to add decom to it. Oh my god. I want to change my rating. God.
So there's a thing that happens where if I don't remember one of these, it probably didn't play for my whole childhood after it was released.
Yeah.
So we know these are going to be real good.
Yeah. Who's got time to be a teenager when you have to save the world? That's the tagline for the movie.
Yes. All right. You want me to read you the plot synopsis?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. Deeply.
Aliens respond to a dissatisfied teen's plea to escape from planet Earth, but not all of them are friendly.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so Can of Worms comes from if you're inviting aliens to your planet, you're opening a can of worms. A can of worms.
Yeah.
I hate it. Can I proactively give this movie a rating of 2 out of 10?
You sure can.
Of worms.
Is that your prediction? Or your bet on it?
My bet on it is that my rating for this movie is 2 out of 10.
I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to say you are going to rate this movie a 1 out of 10.
Okay. I really don't like the character they've chosen for the poster. It's like this,
no, he's very bad.
It's like a minion with dress shoes.
Yes, and socks.
And human tongue and human teeth and socks. And instead of the eyes being cute and big on their face, they're sticking out like snakes.
It's a very goosebumpian sort of R.L. Steiny type of design.
I totally agree. Yeah, so I I would like to admit really quick here as well that of like the first 10 images, about 3 of them are podcast images for podcast
really?
art. Yeah, there's episode 6 of a podcast and episode 4 of a podcast.
Wow, none of those come up for me. The only thing
funny.
close to that is an episode of Disney-cember from the Nostalgia Critic.
Oh my god, of course you get Nostalgia Critic recommendations.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. You want to know something really funny? Further down,
What?
if you scroll down more, there's actually a still image from Zenon in the image results. As if to say,
that's funny.
just skip this one.
Go watch this. Go watch Zenon again.
Yeah, I really liked Zenon.
Yeah. No, you didn't. You gave it a 6.
I know. But I
You
should
gave
have
it lower
given
than Under
it a
Wraps.
6. Did I really give it more than Under Wraps?
Lower than Under Wraps.
That's what I meant. Lower than Under Wraps.
Yes, I think you gave Under Wraps a 7 with growth room.
Yeah, so the only
To
thing
an
we
8.
know about Evan is that I've got no idea how to rate a movie.
Yeah, I think
I'm rating
you...
them on not a bented scale. Like I'm rating them on a very literal 5 is average. I think
Yeah,
is what's the
honestly
problem
I
is.
am too.
Oh.
But I think you aren't used to these movies. So with each one you see, you sort of get more context for the whole DCOM space.
I think Can of Worms is going to bump every single previous rating up by 1. That's my bet on it.
Probably.
I want it. Okay.
I'm going to say bet on it. Burp jokes, fart jokes? Yes, no, how many?
Yes.
Yes.
Over 20.
Over 20. I was going to say 3. Rule of 3s on the burpy farty jokes.
You think that Can of Worms is going to abide to the comedy rule of 3s?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this
Okay.
movie will be very funny.
I originally was going to say above 10, and then I bumped it up to above 20, because I think that an average of like 1 poop, fart, or burp, or child joke per like 2 minutes sounds about right. I guess it'd be like 3 minutes. Sounds
That's kind
about
of
right.
incredible, but yeah, I think I could see that happening. I'm not disagreeing, I'm just sort of hedging my bets.
I mean, I see an alien in the image that looks like just a pile of booger.
Yeah, no, it's very Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids is a cut. I like that. I totally agree. Yeah, I'm not excited about this one.
Yeah, me either. Xenon's really got me.
Yeah.
Soaring high, and then we're gonna crash down to Earth with Can of Worms next week.
We're gonna crash into Earth alongside these aliens.
We're gonna crash down to Earth like Zenon did and just fucking sneeze and trip and fall on our ass.
Guys, if you wanna see us sneeze and fall on our ass, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and give us a good rating on.
Yeah, rate us 5-star on iTunes. But I think we're not supposed to tell you that or something.
Are we not supposed to tell people to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes? Okay, so
I don't know.
Pretend we
Or maybe
didn't.
we're not supposed to incentivize it.
Give us a rating major on iTunes, guys.
Give us a rating macro, you alphas.
Give us, if you guys don't want to be like Jared. Anyways, that's gonna do it. I can't wait to watch Can of Worms. I'm so excited for Can of Worms. I'm gonna be so excited about Can of Worms. Like I was excited. Okay, so I was genuinely excited for Zenon.
Yeah, I was too.
I'm excited in Can of Worms to see how garbage a movie can be. Just the limits of human imagination when it comes to bad movies.
Definitely worse than You Lucky Dog.
Oh yeah. What did I rate You Lucky Dog? Did I give it a 3?
I gave it a 3, and I think you did the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Bye.
God, all right. Done recording. Done. Stop.
You're so far ahead of me. I'm like, all right, open the door, walk out, open computer, and hit stop.